Hello everyone, welcome back to Civil Engineering Classes YouTube channel. In this video, we will be discussing about water logging and quality of irrigation water. The first video of the irrigation subject was about different types of irrigation and different methods of irrigation. Coming to water logging. We know water logging means the flooding of the root zone of the plants. Imagine this is a plant. This is the shoot part and this is the root, and here it is the ground level. In usual condition, the water level will be up to some height from the tip of the roots. If due to some reasons like flooding condition or excessive irrigation, the water level get increased and the root or the whole plant gets submerged in water, this phenomenon is called as water logging. So, as a definition, in irrigation engineering, the water logging is said to be caused when any part of the plant gets submerged in water. Even if it is the full root, also the phenomenon can be called as water logging. Due to the water logging, the roots cannot take enough air from the surrounding since it is fully covered under water. So the soil become ill-irrigated, and also this will affect the productivity of the land due to the rise in the water table. So these are the basic things about water logging. If we are discussing the causes of water logging, that include over or intensive irrigation, excessive rainfall, submergence due to flood, seepage and runoff from the higher elevation. If our field is in a lower elevation, from the higher elevation there will be more flow of water to our field. That will cause to water logging. Then irregular topography and terrain condition. If there is not sufficient surface drainage or there is any obstruction to the natural drainage, also water logging will happen. Its effects include there is a reduction in the yielding of the crop. Obviously, we have discussed that water logging will lead to less productivity of the land. That will lead to reduction in the yield of the crop. This also increases the salinity of the soil. That means the soil contains so many salt in it. Some are desirable and some are undesirable. When there is excess water, the whole salt will dissolve in this water and this will be taken by plants eventually. It is said that the NaCl, which is a very important salt, its dosage in the soil must be less than 1000 mg per liter. Next one is seepage of nitrates to groundwater. Excessive nitrates, that is nitrates greater than 45 mg per liter, is harmful for groundwater. The water logging will lead to the seepage of nitrate to the groundwater. Then obviously there will be spreading of the waterborne diseases, and finally there is wilting of roots. Let's see how this wilting of roots will happen. Imagine this is our roots. As we said earlier, the salinity of the water or the soil get increases. The harmful salt includes NaCl, NaCO3, NaSO4, like that. Imagine in water the sodium ion will present that will accumulate or absorb more water molecule to it. Thus it will become a very large molecule and this will block the root membranes. Thus, the intake of the sufficient water or air is not possible through the roots. This causes the wilting of roots. Next is salinity in soil. So, we have done with water logging. One of its effect was the increase in the salinity in the soil. Let's see about it. Due to the increased salinity, a phenomenon called as efflorescence will happen. This happens when the water that logged has evaporated and that will leave the salt as precipitate. This salt will be seen as white thin surfaces over the soil. This is called as efflorescence. The salt like sodium chloride and sodium sulfate will produce white precipitate, so they are called as white alkali. They are comparatively more soluble. The salt like sodium carbonate will produce black precipitate, so they are called as black alkali. The solution for reducing the salinity of the soil is first one, leaching. Leaching is the process of flooding our field by excess water so that this excess salt gets dissolved in this water and later the excess water is drained off from the field. This process is called as leaching. And also, due to the increased salinity, there is a chance that our soil will become acidic. If the soil becomes acidic, we have to treat that with a base like lime. So, these are the solutions for reducing the salinity of soil. If the salt efflorescence continue for a long time, if you are not taking necessary solution or necessary measures to reduce the soil condition, this precipitate will get accumulated in the soil and the soil will become unproductive. Such soil is called as Banjar soil or Ashur. It is said that if the salt concentration in the soil is greater than 700 ppm, it is harmful for the crops. If it is greater than 2000 ppm, it is very injurious for the crops. Next one is leaching requirement. We have already said that leaching is the process of flooding the field with excess water. Later, this water is drained off so that we can remove the excess salt in the soil. How much is the water requirement for leaching? That is represented by a term called leaching requirement or LR. It is a ratio of volume of water drained out for leaching divided by total volume of irrigation water applied. We know volume is always equal to area into depth. So, we can write the volume of water drained equal to area of the field into depth of water drained, and volume of the irrigated water applied can be written as area into depth of irrigated water. AA can be cancelled. So, leaching requirement can be written as the ratio of the depth of water drained for leaching, that is DD, drained for leaching, that is DD, divided by depth of irrigation water, that is DI. Usually, leaching requirement is expressed as a percentage of total irrigation water. We have already said that leaching water is the excess water requirement. Total irrigation water means it is the sum of the consumptive use and the excess leaching requirement. Consumptive use means it is the water needed for the growth of the plants. This we will see in the later videos. Coming to different equation for leaching, that is, we have already said the total irrigation water, that is DI, equal to consumptive use plus DD, that is the water that is drained for leaching. So, we can write DD equal to DI minus CU. LR, we know it is equal to DT divided by DI. So, it is DI minus CU divided by DI. Thus, we get this equation 1 minus Cu divided by Di. That is the derivation for LR 1 minus Cu, that is the consumptive use divided by depth of the water for irrigation purpose. Next is that we know about the salt concentration. Salt is majorly we are expressing in mg per liter. So, concentration, the unit is mg per liter. From this we get that the concentration is inversely proportional to volume. Liter means the volume. We know LR equal to volume of the drained water divided by volume of total irrigated water. If CI represent the salt concentration in the irrigated water and CD represent the salt concentration on the drained water, LR can be written as CI divided by CD, since volume and concentration are inversely proportional. Ci represents the salt concentration in the irrigated water. Cd represents the salt concentration in the drained water. And also one more thing. We know the salt concentration is mostly expressed by the electrical conductivity or measured by the electrical conductivity of the water. So salt concentration is directly related to electrical conductivity. So LR, we have already explained it as Ci divided by Cd. That can be also be written as electrical conductivity of the irrigation water divided by electrical conductivity of the drained water. So these are the basic equations for leaching requirement, to find out the leaching requirement. Next, coming to the quality of the irrigation water. First point is that its pH value is usually about 6.5 to 8.4. The water that is added in the concrete, the pH range must be 6.5 to 8. Here it is 6.5, almost close, 6.5 to 8.4. The total dissolved solid should not be greater than 2000 mg per liter. And also there are certain very toxic elements like boron, selenium. Their content should be very low. If it is boron concentration, it should not be more than 4 ppm. Very small traces of selenium is considered to be very toxic for soil. Next one is, we have already said that NaCl salt is very dangerous due to the reason that they will block our roots and they will prevent the entry of air and water through the roots. So, in order to express the sodium hazard, there should be a term that is called as sodium absorption ratio, or SAR. It is a relative proportion of sodium ion with respect to calcium and magnesium ion. If you are expressing it as an equation, SAR equal to Na plus concentration of the Na plus divided by square root of concentration of calcium plus concentration of magnesium divided by 2. All the concentration are expressed in milli equivalent per liter. Coming to the next point. On the basis of the SAR value, we can classify the soil as S1, S2, S3, S4, etc. S1 means the SAR value is 0 to 10. That means the low sodium in the particular water, so that can be used in the irrigation purposes. Next one is S2, that means 10 to 18 SAR value. S3 is 18 to 26 SAR value. S4 is greater than 26 value, which is not recommended for irrigation purposes. S2 and S3 can be used, but the recommendation is that the proper leaching of the soil should be done. Next one is finding about the concentration of the soluble salts. We have already said the salt concentration is generally expressed as the electrical conductivity of the soil. So salt concentration is directly proportional to electrical conductivity of the soil. So salinity class, there are 5 salinity class: C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, etc. C1 means which have the lowest electrical conductivity, that is less than 250 micromoles per centimeter. Then C2 means medium, 250 to 750. C3 means medium to high, 750 to 2250. C4 means 2250 to 5000. C5 means greater than 5000. So this is another representation of the concentration of soluble salt. So these are the important points related to the quality of the water